Everyone. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to Tyra's Just Saying. So happy to have all of y'all here with me this evening. Tonight, I have the pleasure and the honor to interview AnnLamar Johnson. Yo, let me tell y'all, she has a wealth of information, right? And so AnnLamar is from North Carolina. She's a gifted writer, keynote speaker, and transformation coach. She earned her Bachelor's of Science degree in dental hygiene from the University of North Carolina Adams School of Dentistry, and she has a Master's of Health Administration from Maryville University. She is passionate about her faith, holistic wellness, and helping others discover the purpose behind their pain and unleash their full potential. And I have the honor of interviewing her this evening. I want to introduce all of you to AnnLamar Johnson. Welcome, welcome. How are you today?
I'm doing well, Tyra. How are you?
Good, good, good. So, welcome to Tyra's Just Saying. I was just giving the audience a little information about yourself, but please feel free to tell everyone about you, AnnLamar.
Well, hello, everyone. I am AnnLamar Johnson, and by degree, I am a registered dental hygienist. I do hold my master's in health administration, but I've kind of pivoted a little bit. I still see patients every now and then,
Mhm.
but for the most part, I spend my time writing, coaching, and speaking, and it's definitely kept me busy, but it is so rewarding.
I bet. I mean, when I was reading over your bio, that is an extremely large transition from dental hygiene to transformational coaching. What inspired you to make that change?
Life. It was definitely necessary, but I
Mhm,
wasn't able to help anybody else until I was able to help myself and
mhm,
get the right help myself, align myself with the right coaches and mentors and therapists and activities and just an
mhm,
overall. But when you think of it in like the grand scheme of things,
mhm.
I didn't really pivot too much because
Okay.
as a registered dental hygienist,
Mhm.
it's not just, oh, I hop in there and clean teeth and that's it. I mean, where
Mm-mm.
their educator, where their hygienist, where their
Mhm,
x-ray tech, where their
mhm,
therapist,
mhm,
like we're everything to everybody at once.
mhm.
And that was one of the most rewarding part of my job was getting to sit there with my patients and actually learn about them and what they have going on and
Mhm.
actually offer a little bit of advice and receive some really good advice from a lot of patients as well.
Yeah, and it's just like, I think when it comes to dental hygiene and the professionals that's in that profession, people take them for granted. They don't think that they can talk to them about things. And believe it or not, I'm like, yo, when you go to the dentist, you should be communicating with them, right?
Right?
About everything that's going on. Because at the end of the day, they can look in your mouth. Let me tell y'all, give y'all a little secret out there, audience. Your mouth and your eyes tell all your business.
That it
Okay.
does.
Your mouth and your eyes tell it all. So
You
when
can
you
say
think
what you
you
want,
hiding,
but
you you say what you want, they know what it is, and they can actually tell you some things that you didn't know what's going on. And so when you go in there, definitely take full advantage when visiting the dentist, the dental offices. I used to work at a trade school as a career service representative, right? And
Mhm.
my and I was responsible for the dental assistants. So when I see, so when I seen you had dental hygiene, I was like, oh my gosh, imagine that.
You know all about that.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? And it was so funny because it was like working there. And my thing is, everybody's like, oh, you're a career student. No, I'm not. I'm like, I go to school for stuff I need to know about. But it was just like, as I was there, I learned so much. so
Mhm.
much about dental, the importance, and that was something that my parents never took for granted. Like they had me in the dentist by the time I was 5, making sure
Yep.
my stuff was right. So my thing is just like at the end of the day, just go, when you look at wellness, take your
Mhm.
dental wellness as serious as you taking the rest of your physical wellness.
Absolutely, Tyra. And that's why, like, I try to do a multi-dimensional approach with my patients and tell them,
Mhm.
like, yeah, I'm your dental hygienist,
Mhm.
but my experience goes far beyond that.
Mhm.
I had a whole nother career, in the medical field before I went into dentistry.
Really?
So, yeah.
What were you doing?
So I was working as a cardiology technician. Initially, I was
Wow.
supposed to be going to nursing school,
Mhm.
and that just wasn't my passion anymore. But I still stuck around it and worked for Duke University for 8 years, and
Mhm.
it was a very rewarding experience.
Mhm.
Being a paramedic, so just
Wow.
so I'm able to talk to my patients
Mhm.
about a lot, and
Mhm.
then now bringing in what I'm doing now with the coaching and
Mhm.
speaking and writing the books, as well as the skincare line that I run. All of that is total health and wellness to me. So it should be a multidimensional approach.
Right. I love that you taking the holistic approach and you're taking it, like step by step by step. So, how is the coaching? How long have you been a coach?
I've been mentoring for years.
Okay.
But as far as diving into specifically like coaching as a career path, that's
Mhm.
been something I tackled more so this year as making that a business
Okay.
because I just realized that's where my passion really lies. Like if I can help people, if I can
Mhm.
point them in the right direction
Mhm.
in the journey that they're on, I mean, I wish that I would have sought that kind of help earlier on in my journey. But
Mhm.
we have to take it as it comes and it happens the way it's supposed
Mhm.
to.
That's what I was getting ready to say. It's just like nothing is really planned out. Like we set our plan for what we want and how we want things to occur and when we want things to occur, right? But at the end of the day, it's like God has another plan. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it's just like being able to, be a recipient of that plan and be okay when plans change. And that's the
Absolutely.
big part right there, and being open to changes happening in your life. And so I get it, but I love how you were mentoring and now going into coaching and everything. So do you coach students or anybody that might be in dental hygiene? Or I know you also have a master's, and you have a master's degree in public health, right?
Health administration.
Okay, so are you coaching people that are in those sectors as well?
In not in the health administration as much
Mhm.
as those that are in dental hygiene.
Oh, okay.
Mainly those who are coming up to go into the program
Mhm.
or those that are in the program. That has been my main focus.
Okay. Okay. And so who is your core audience right now?
Women, definitely. Women who have experienced things in their life. And I don't want to
Mhm.
get specific because it's not specific. It could be,
Okay.
a lot of people try to weigh it as, oh, well, this was more traumatic than this. So, but
Mhm.
no, it all depends on the frame of mind you were in when the trauma took place. And
You better say it, because sometimes people, they want you to declare a niche and that's not it.
exactly. It's not one
Mhm.
size fits all.
Mhm.
So my coaching isn't one size fits all.
Mhm.
My speeches aren't, one size fits all, but
Mhm.
mainly geared towards women who are finding themselves in a season of life maybe they don't quite understand, or
Mhm.
they feel like they're on this journey alone. They just want
Mhm.
to find
Mhm.
unbiased help or whatever it may be.
Mhm.
But I think as women, it's very important for us to have a community, people that we feel like we can turn to and go
Yes.
to, and that's really what everything I'm doing is all about. No
Okay.
matter what angle you come from, like
Mhm.
so for one of the things that my mother is my business partner,
Okay.
And one of the things that we've started is Faith in Motion. So
Okay.
that is our walking group where
Hmm.
we go around to different cities and we might be like, hey, we're in Philly, you know, come check us out at such and such park at noon on Sunday. And we get a group of women out there together and we walk, talk about faith or whatever it may be. But we want to bring that to different cities because that's tying in that health and wellness and faith and everything all together. And it's all so important. You need one to support the other.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I love that. I love that. How many cities have y'all been to so far?
Several, but as far as getting this up and really going, we're
Hmm.
more so just getting started with that because I'm sorry, this summer was brutal and I was
Hmm.
not trying to be out there in that heat.
Yeah, heat wise, yeah, I'm still trying to figure out what was going on with, and it's just like, and it was just like, and I have friends, and friends that live in Texas, and I'm like asking them like, are y'all okay? It was like a constant check on them. If it wasn't weekly, it was bi-weekly, trying not to be annoying, like calling them once a month,
Right?
y'all okay? Y'all okay? Because I knew they like we was getting it, but not to the level that they were getting it. And it
High
just,
100s.
yeah,
Whew.
and it was just like making me question. I'm like, was it this hot during the pandemic, or was it just, and we wasn't allowed outside, right? Or did this just start?
It just started because I remember having a conversation with my mother and I said, I don't remember it ever being this hot in my
Right,
life. And I'm
right.
35. And I
Mhm.
looked it up. Sure enough, the last time it was this hot was 40 years ago. So I would not remember.
But I would. You might, but you won't, but I will because I was here. I was here, but I don't even remember. Let me see, 40 years ago. So that would be in the 80s. And so I'm thinking is that year we went to Disney World, but who knows? And I remember that it was hot, hot, hot. And then I remember the year, oh my goodness, when it was that, it was super hot. I went to Morris Brown College in Atlanta. And I
Okay.
remember, and we drove down a few times that summer of 1990 before I started. And let me tell you, AnnLamar, it was so daggone hot. The cars kept overheating, not just our car, everybody's cars kept overheating on the side of the side of the road, 95,
Oh, that
85,
might have been when it was
all
that
of it.
hot.
Let me tell you, everybody was pulled over. And this was in the summer of 1990. And I tell you,
Wow.
it was the worst.
Oh my goodness.
It took hours to get there. It was already a 12-hour drive. So imagine having to stop every
Oh,
so often because the cars, and it wasn't just us. It was like all you saw was people sitting on the side of the road. Everybody getting out their cars. They couldn't use the air conditioner. They couldn't use nothing.
oh, that sounds rough.
It was horrible. I just was like, oh no. So yeah, maybe it was that year. Oh my gosh. But yes, so I know you wrote a journal called the Faith Walk 31-day devotional journal. Tell us about your journal.
Yeah, so it's a Christian devotional,
Hmm.
31 days, and it's based off of my own life experiences
Okay.
and tie it into how it relates to the Bible or how the Bible relates to my story.
Okay.
Because growing up a lot of the
Hmm.
time, you know, I would read the Bible and I'm like, okay, this doesn't apply to me. This happened how many years ago? And
Hmm.
I never saw until I got older how the Bible really spoke to every area of my life. So it got
Hmm.
me thinking that felt that way and I
Hmm.
grew up in the church, imagine how many people that grew up in the church may feel the same way, or somebody that didn't grow up in the church and now they're trying to interpret all this for themselves.
Hmm.
So I really wanted to show a current day situation to
Hmm.
a past day situation and how it speaks to you, and
Hmm.
then the person can go back to the Bible verse and the story
Hmm.
how it applies to their life because with every daily devotional, I
Hmm.
put a quote the actual context,
Mhm.
the verse of the day, song of the day, and then
Okay.
something to think about, which are thought provoking questions at the end of each daily devotional.
Okay, I like that. And where can viewers purchase this that? Is it available on Amazon or do they have to go to your website or is it both?
It's available on both. They can also use Kindle. It'll be available on Audible soon, as well as Barnes and Noble. So you can get faith.com
Okay.
or on Amazon by putting in Faith Walk
Mhm.
31-day devotional, and it'll come up. And if people are wondering what that looks like, this is it right here.
Love it. Love it. I love that you said that you added songs in it.
Yes, so that was a key part. Music was a key part of my journey.
Okay.
So some years back, I went to an evangelistic series
Mhm.
with my mother at her
Okay.
church,
Okay.
and the person running the series, one of the things she said, she threw up some songs. She put some songs on, and it was just funny. Even though we were sitting in church, when that beat dropped, we were
Mhm.
like, "Okay, I remember this one." You might remember it from back in.
Mhm.
Um, and then she stopped the music after she played a few songs, which I knew all of them.
Mhm.
But then she threw up just the lyrics with
Okay.
no music. And she said,
Mhm.
"Now I want you to sit here and I want you to read the lyrics by themselves."
Mhm.
And I was like, "Oh my goodness, that's what that says?" Like, it was didn't even you don't even realize it sometimes, or
Right.
you might know what the words are saying, but you're not even thinking about the context it's being said in.
Right.
And she talked about the power of music and how subconsciously, like, nobody can recite the whole dictionary or the whole Bible, but yet you can sing a song back to back to back, different songs, and know all the words.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
then that got me to thinking, and I was like, man, I wonder if I could transform the way I think by changing the music that I listen to.
Okay.
And I'm like, I don't want to just listen to church hymns all day and,
Mhm.
kind of caught between that. So I found one song here and another song there that I liked. And, you plug it on YouTube and then it pulls up other ones. And
Mhm.
before I realized it, I'm riding down the road, bump into something that looks like, sounds like trap music, but it is straight Christian music.
Okay.
And I started realizing, okay, I can still get that same vibe. I can still get that same beat, but
Mhm.
changing up the lyrics can change the message that you're reinforcing in your mind
Right.
all day.
Right.
And this has been going on now about 3 years.
Mhm.
And I have noticed a big, big difference. So where I don't even listen to regular music anymore. When I do, and
Mhm.
certain words, I just kind of cringe and I'm like, oh my goodness, that's what that was saying. But
Mhm.
so yeah, music was a huge part of my journey.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, because you know what? I think a lot of people, when you hear the beat to certain songs, you go with the beat, but don't go with the lyrics.
Exactly.
And then when you hear the lyrics, because it's like I know I always see on social media where they say, how old were you when you found out this is what this song said?"
Sometimes I was just finding out then, like,
I was today years old. That's what I was.
exactly.
Today years old. That's what. And I just sit back and I laugh because there is a lot of songs where people be sitting back and jamming, and it's just like, do you know what that song is saying? What are you doing? You let your kid listen to that?
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
And people were like, well, I didn't know it meant that. Well, what did you think it was saying? So yeah, so I get it. I get it. I get it, but I love that, Do you have a lot did you add like older hymns in it or did you stay with some of the more modern day?
I went with some of the more modern day. I didn't go
Okay.
too crazy, into everything that I like, but
Right.
I kept it more current day. I didn't go with the older hymns. And then,
Okay.
a lot of the older hymns have been remixed and remade now and have a
Mhm.
new to them. So yeah, I
Oh
stay
yeah.
more current.
Yeah, I know. It's just like it's like I look at some of the music that Kirk Franklin rearranged, and
Hmm.
because I know he was like one of the first ones, in our generation that actually started, really, you know, um overstepping, as they would possibly say in the past, overstepping the
Yeah.
bounds. But honestly, he changed the way we heard things. So it's like now when we go out, we listen to it, we get two different interpretations. Now, some songs out there, I would say, yo, leave that alone. Don't
Hmm.
leave that right where it's at. You know what I mean? And I can go through a few albums. Look, I'm dating myself. That could be left alone. Don't even try to turn them into nobody.
That part.
But I love that. I love that idea. And so I know you have a skincare line called, okay, you're going to have to help me with that. Is it a key or a quickie?
A quickie.
Okay,
So
that's
a
why I was like,
quickie.
a quickie. All right. So tell us
Yeah.
about a quickie.
So a quickie is the natural key to all your skincare needs.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is handmade. It has essential oils in it to provide both therapeutic and beautification benefits.
Okay.
We have something for everyone, whether you are, I got some products right here, actually. So we have our even tone collection. It
Okay.
gets rid of those dark spots
Mm-hmm.
and melasma, hyperpigmentation. Then the even tone collection is definitely your go-to if you
Okay.
want that hydration, moisturization, anti-aging. You definitely want to go with our rejuvenating rose.
Okay.
So that's another good one. And also we have a phenomenal revitalization balm that is
Mm-hmm.
good for all those little aches and things going on.
Mm-hmm.
So this one and this one right here is really good for women going through the change. This
Well, talk about that, because believe it or not, there is a lot of folks that is going through it and don't know what to do and is looking for all kinds of remedies to help them with that process.
yeah, so let me be clear. The product that we have was made out of a need for someone in the family. I am
Okay.
not the one with the that needs needs this quite yet,
Right.
but I do know that it works because not throwing anybody under the bus, but this was created specifically for my mother.
Okay.
And so I knew firsthand just what menopause was doing to her.
Okay.
And this tremendously helped with her hot flashes and her night sweats.
Hmm.
She puts it on the bottom of her feet, around her neck, on her chest, and
Okay.
puts socks on. And she, I think, probably within less than a week of using it, she started.
Okay.
But for nightly routine, she uses the revitalization balm and she uses this and she puts them both on. Whether she has any aches or pains or not that day, she
Hmm.
uses this religiously. Whether her hot flashes and night sweats have been acting up, she uses this. She does not miss a night, and
Okay.
it has definitely worked fantastic. I also had
Hmm.
another client
Hmm.
who used this, and she's actually a breast cancer survivor,
Okay.
and she, with chemo and everything going on, she
Hmm.
another client of mine is a breast cancer survivor, and she had
Hmm.
tried it.
Okay.
She gave it to the other lady to try, and so this has been circulating around that community as being very well for helping with the different side effects as far as like the hot flashes and night sweats and different
Hmm.
things that are associated with going through chemotherapy.
Oh, wow. So did you make these products at home, or did you work with a chemist to help you with these products?
Nope, I did it. A lot of research.
Okay.
Um, but I had been making my own skincare products for years.
Wow.
When I was living and for family members, and then when I was living in Jamaica,
Hmm.
I was making it for people out there, and everybody kept saying, "Oh, you should sell this. You should sell this." And I'm like, "Nah, that's I just do it for fun." And but you know what? Somebody really impressed upon me that I can't remember. Don't make me quote the verse, but it's in the Bible. When God gives you a gift, you're
Hmm.
not supposed to hoard it for yourself.
Right.
And that's what a friend of mine kept just impressing upon me as much as I was resistant to it.
Hmm.
But I'm like, you know what? You're right. Like, I have a gift and I should share it with people because I know what it can do, and it could really help transform somebody else's life because at the end of the day, what I was doing in
Hmm.
dentistry
Right.
and what I was doing here and as far as now are
Hmm.
they're not very different because as a dental hygienist, I'm helping to build confidence in
Hmm.
people. I mean, your smile is the first thing people see. So if you're not happy with your smile, you're not happy. You're not going to want to smile. You're not going to take pictures and things like that.
Hmm.
And I think it comes down to the same thing, whether it's with your faith, if that's not in the right,
Right.
if your skin is not in the right place, you're not going to be happy. And I had to go through a season where God, he messed with my vanity.
Hmm.
My face was destroyed after going into anaphylactic shock. I mean,
Oh
imagine
my
my face, and it
goodness.
was black and leathery and scaly.
Yeah.
It was unsightly. It's on my website, but it was
Oh
unsightly.
wow.
And my products is what brought it back to what you see now. The medications from the doctors, it kept
Hmm.
it at bay where it wasn't
Right.
getting worse, but
Hmm.
it wasn't getting better. And that's when I left the country actually, because I was just like, I can't do this. It was
Did you have
horrible.
family in Jamaica or?
So my mother and all my mom's family is from Jamaica,
Okay.
but I did a solo journey, didn't let anybody know I was out there. Needed to really just lock in and key in and focus on whatever it was God wanted me to see.
Okay. Okay. Wow, that's something. You know, wow. I'm on your website now looking at all of the products you have. And so I was like,
I
I had
heard
to
the
make sure.
music cut on.
Yeah, I had to make sure I was at the right site. So I see you have lip care products, you have the exfoliating add-ons, you also have body butters.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm
Oh.
very big on the skin being moisturized and being a
Mm-hmm.
dental hygienist,
Mm-hmm.
and especially when COVID was, we were at the height of COVID, all
Yes.
the hand washing, when I tell you my hands were completely like raw, they were
Mm-hmm.
bleeding, they were burning.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a common problem because of all the hand washing. So I'm like,
Yes.
okay, we're putting on this other like lotion or say Bath and Body
Mm-hmm.
Works or wherever type normal
Right.
lotion you would get.
Right.
And I just felt like my skin was just drinking it up, but it wasn't healing it.
Okay.
And
Okay.
that's where this really came in. So there's key ingredients in there that I studied in Jamaica that
Okay.
have really helped with healing up skin conditions, as
Mm-hmm.
well as skin barrier protections in there. So when you put this on, you
Mm-hmm.
can go wash your hands several times and you're still going to be like, dang, did I just put some on? Your hands, your skin is still going to be soft.
Oh, look, we like them kind of products.
Right?
We like them. Look, we love them kind of products. Let me tell you.
Exactly.
Let me tell you. So I'm looking. Okay. I'm trying to. Okay. So the what section would we find the cream for menopause?
So if you go under the salves,
Okay.
you should see some that say salves on there, or
Okay.
you can even like soothing for her
Okay.
in the
Okay.
search bar, and that'll come up as well.
Okay. And so I see you have essential tranquility products.
Yes, that is my mother's favorite. That one has jasmine,
Mm-hmm.
eucalyptus, and chamomile. And let me tell you, that one smells like a dream. I I always get complimented when I wear that one.
I bet. I mean, because those scents are so relaxing and it puts you in a whole nother frame of mind, right? And it
Yes,
relaxes you and it just, it just puts you, just takes you somewhere else, and it makes you start, it clears your mind, so to
yes,
speak. It puts you in a whole more mind cleansing mindset, if that makes sense to everybody that's listening. And so I see on here that you have something new coming, which is the kitchen.
yes.
Oh my
So
goodness.
that
Tell us about this.
Well, I will be honest, the kitchen part is not me, although I am a phenomenal cook. That one
Mhm.
is going to be my parents.
Okay.
So basically, there are certain essential oils that you can ingest, and there's some that are just for topical use or diffusing.
Mm,
And it's
okay.
very important to know which ones you can ingest and which ones you cannot. So, one thing I will say
Ah.
with our cooking, we use the ingestible essential oils in everything, whether
Really?
it's making like a drink at
Mhm.
home, like they have something called sorrel where you boil leave the hibiscus leaves and
Mhm.
put ginger and cane sugar.
Yes.
We put the essential oil drops in that. Whether you're
Okay.
cooking vegetables, you
Mhm.
mix it down with olive oil first and then coat your vegetables and let it
Mhm.
sit for a little bit and then cook them.
Okay.
Putting it in the lemon in your water, whatever
Mhm.
it is. But there's
Mhm.
so many different beneficial essential oils. So we want to show people what it's like to cook healthy
Okay.
because my whole family is vegetarian,
Okay.
um, and also how to cook with essential oils.
Okay. Okay. Are you a vegetarian also, or?
I Yes, I am,
Okay. Okay.
and
That's
my mother's
good.
also a nutritionist. So
Oh, look, well, that's even better. I mean, because the thing is like when we think of essential oils, the number one thing that comes to mind is always being able to smell them and putting them, using them on our pressure points and areas to keep
mhm,
us calm, to keep us relaxed. When we are, experiencing any type of depression or anxiety or anything going on. So it's good that y'all are actually adding this whole cooking component with this as or kitchen component to this because I think a lot of people would like to learn more about being able to ingest essential oils, for which ones. Y'all don't be going out there buying the peppermint oil and putting it in y'all stuff thinking that's the right stuff because we
yes,
don't want
please
anybody
don't.
going out there getting something and it's all wrong, right? So
Exactly. Like wait for the cooking channel. Make sure you
e-
tune in. Don't know.
exactly, because we don't need nobody doing nothing ratchet, okay?
This is not a challenge. Don't go out and try
Right,
it.
right. No, we're not trying none of that. We're gonna wait until the product is perfected from these nice people, and then we're going to start using it. Cause girl, you tell folks is, oh yeah, I'ma do it. And it's just like,
Right?
wait a minute, slow down. So when you look at your profession and everything that has gone on the past 3 years, how did you maintain the business and maintain your own self-care during the pandemic?
That it was challenging at
Hmm.
first, but I
Hmm.
really just had to key in and find a routine.
Hmm.
So right now I'm in North Carolina, but when the pandemic hit, I was living in Florida
Okay.
and I didn't know, I hadn't been there that long.
Hmm.
And I really just had to find my focus.
Hmm.
And so every single morning at 4:30, 5 o'clock, I got up, and before 5:30, I was out there and I was running the beach every morning, every morning.
Hmm.
So I just had to get really structured and disciplined and drown out the noise. So
Okay.
while the panic is going on out, side of me, I stayed keyed in on what was going on, but then I really had to key in and focus on what was going to transform me because
Mhm.
listening to the news all day, that was going to transform me all right, but not in a good way.
You got that right. That was putting you in a whole other mindset.
It really was. It really, I just had to really, so God has taken me away from dentistry more than once. And I've
Okay.
always clawed my way back to it. It was different health reasons. I had a
Mhm.
surgery, I had an arm repair, things like that.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I felt like COVID was a chance to, because 2019,
Mhm.
God tried to pull me away from things and I clawed my way back.
Mhm.
And then COVID happened and I still clawed my way back a little bit. But then
Mhm.
that's when I was like, more. There's something I'm missing here. I always thought that dentistry was my purpose. Like that's what I'm really good at.
Mm-hmm.
But I kept feeling that push, like,
Right.
okay, there's more, but I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
sure what that more was.
Right.
And a lot of different things that transpired made that light bulb kind of just click on for me. And it
Okay.
wasn't all positive,
Mm-hmm.
rainbows and ice cream. No, it wasn't any of that. It
Right.
was it was rough. It
Right.
was God had to take me through something that I probably was never ready to go through before.
Mm-hmm.
But he really worked on me and transformed a lot of things
Mm-hmm.
because anybody who knows me, like even my mother, when she first read my devotion, she was the first person that I told and the first person that got to read it.
Right.
And she was like, if somebody would have handed me this and told me my daughter wrote this, I'd be like, no, not my daughter.
Right.
So God had to do some work.
Mm-hmm. But you know what? We're all a work in progress.
Absolutely.
We're all a work in progress. And the bottom line is we know that we grow through what we go through, and it
Amen.
just puts us into a whole better mind space, puts us in a whole better, better makes us a better you, right? Makes you a better you, and now you know how to handle different situations that arise, and better with making decisions, and when it comes to things, because sometimes we don't want to make the decision, of doing certain things, when we know it's the right thing for us or the best thing for us, because we've been navigating things so long to the point where it's just like, I ain't listening to my head. I'm gonna go do what I want to do.
You divert to what's comfortable, but you
Uh-huh.
can't grow in your comfort zone.
After a while, you gotta say, you know what? Okay, even though I'm comfortable with doing this, I gotta not be comfortable anymore. I gotta figure this out another direction. I gotta move another direction to be able to, if I want to be able to pivot and make a go of this, to increase my success.
I agree because people often confuse it's one thing to be comfortable because you want to live a comfortable life,
Of
but
course. Mm-hmm.
people confuse complacency
Mm-hmm.
and comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Well, does not mean you're supposed to be complacent, like, oh, I've made
Right.
this much, so now I'm just going to just sit back and just do whatever. No, you keep
Mm-hmm.
working. Like, what impact do you want to leave
Mm-hmm.
on this earth when you leave?
Right.
And that was one of the things that really, I
Mm-hmm.
think, pushed me in this direction. I remember having a conversation with my mother,
Mm-hmm.
and I told her, I said, I had a thought, and the thought was, if I died tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
what would they say at my funeral? Like, what would be said about me? What would I be remembered for? Would it
Mm-hmm.
be like, wow, she could really clean some teeth? So I
Right,
had
right.
to
What you say? No, that's not what I want.
exactly. So if one thing it's okay, what are you going to do to change that? Because
Hmm.
only you have the power to change that narrative.
Right.
So that's what I did. I had to change that narrative because I didn't like what I saw looking
Hmm.
forward.
Okay. Okay. And I can understand that, and that's something that, people really need to think about. What am I doing? What
Mhm.
type of legacy am I leading? How do I want to be perceived? And it's just like when you look at, like, so many businesses, happened over the past few years, and they thought once they made their first few dollars that they didn't have to level up, they didn't have to continue on with researching and adding products. I talk to people all the time because I'm a psychotherapist, but I'm also a business coach as well, right? And I talk to so many people who say, I want to add a product to my business, and I'm like, okay, so what product would you like to add? What do you feel when you look at your business? What do you feel complements what you're doing? Now, some
Mhm.
people can, come up with something, and others just sit there and just like, I don't know. And as a business coach, they want you to give them a product, and it's just like, I can't give you nothing, because the bottom line is, if I give you a product, that doesn't mean you're going to actually do what you need to do to take it to the level that you need to take it to.
Because my vision is not for you.
Right. Exactly. And it's just like understanding what your vision is, what your calling is, and how you're going to manifest that into the millions that you're destined to try to get.
I always say, what is your why? You have to know your
Mhm.
why, and your why has to be bigger than all of your fears. It has to be bigger
Mhm.
than everything else if you're going to make it happen. So,
Right.
your why and my why is two different things. So, you sharing your why with me doesn't help me do
Mhm.
anything.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. I mean, and that's the truth. That is the truth. So, are you currently looking for more clients now for your coaching business, or are
Absolutely. I
you
am
full?
currently
Okay.
taking I'm taking new clients, and one of the offers I would like to make to all the listeners or
Mhm.
viewers is that if they message me,
Mhm.
and when they message me, put in Tyra's just saying,
Mhm.
and they will get a recovery call with me. So that'll be 30 to 45 minutes where we'll chat on the phone or via Zoom, and we'll talk about what their goal is, whether it's personal or professional, finance, whatever their goal may be. And
Mhm.
then we can have a see if my coaching will be something that is beneficial for them and if we would be a good fit to work together, because not everybody's a good fit for everything. And I had to realize I can't work I'm not for everybody.
Mhm.
And the sooner you realize and understand that, the
Mhm.
easier your life will be.
Right. And you know what? And that's the truth, because the thing is, I think is so many out there trying to chase the bag, as they try to put it. You chasing the bag so hard that you're attracting the wrong customers. You
Very
know?
mindful of what my clientele says about me,
Mhm.
as
Mhm.
far as, because I have, just you can't be everything to everyone. And I think
Right.
that's where you mess up at, and you end up
Mhm.
taking on the wrong kind of clients. And
Mhm.
that's a very personal space.
Right.
So maybe you went through something extremely traumatic that I'm
Mhm.
not equipped to deal with,
Right.
then I can refer you to the right people
Mhm. Right.
if I can't help you. And so
That part.
that's important to understand as well.
Hmm. And that's true. That is true. So it's important to have discovery calls. And as AnnLamar said, Tyra's just saying is the code for a discovery call, just to see if you are the right fit for her coaching program. Right. And so we definitely want y'all to take advantage. And let me tell y'all definitely take advantage of her products on her website. Her website is beautiful. She has a lot of information on it and about her products. A quickie is did I spell that right? Let me see. I
The
know I forgot.
AQUICKI.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, let me put that again. AQUITKI.com. I don't know why it put there it go. Alrighty. I don't know why it put that C there before the Q, but yes. So make sure y'all go to aquickie.com. I know I'm on there looking and I'm like, oh, let me see what I'm getting. Oh, let me see what I'm getting, because I know the one I will be getting. The essential, is this the essential soothing balm salve for her?
Yes, that is the
So
one
that's
that
the
helps
one.
with hot
Yeah.
flashes and night sweats.
Mhm. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. That's the one. That's the
And
one
one
I
thing
will
we
be
do
getting.
believe in looking out for our clients. Once you
Mhm.
become a client of ours, you become family. So we
Okay.
do have, if you go on the page and create your portal account, you will
Mhm.
see in there that you have a referral link. You can share that link with your friends, family, whoever. And
Mhm.
every time somebody, well, when they place their first order,
Mhm.
it doesn't matter how much the order is. When they place their first order, you're going to get $5, five a quickie points
Okay.
from that.
And I
Plus, for
also
every
saw,
$10,
wow. Okay, and I also saw you do are you doing wholesale or I
Yes,
see
we
you
do
doing
wholesale as well.
you're doing small bulk orders in addition to custom specialty orders. So tell us about that, because I do have some clients that's always looking for stuff to sell in their stores, whether it's an online store or they do vending events, because now we're approaching holiday time. And so with us
Yes.
approaching holiday time, people are always looking for more things to add to their inventory to get things out. So tell us about your wholesale and your specialty orders. How does that work?
So with the specialty orders, we do have people that might be allergic to a certain ingredient,
Mhm.
or maybe they're hosting a retreat. I have this one dentist
Mhm.
that she's hosting a retreat, and she's like,
Mhm.
"Hey, Anne, I want something that has a nice little ocean breezy type smell to it, something
Mhm.
that smells kind of tropical and fun." And
Okay.
I'm like, "Okay, let's go with the color blue. That's seeming kind of tropical." And so, I'm able to sit down with people or discuss with people and figure out, okay, what's your vision for this? Whether it's party favors for maybe it's a wedding or a bachelorette party, whatever it may be, we can definitely, sit down together, figure out what your vision for that is. If there's a
Okay.
certain scent that you're wanting, I have certain
Mhm.
picked their certain scents that they like, and they get the
Okay.
same repeat order every
Okay.
time. Also, with the wholesale, we do have a couple people. We had a lady at an event who
Mhm.
liked the the soothing salve for her,
Okay.
and it's like a holistic shop that has like teas and
Mhm.
different stuff like that. And
Right.
she would like to have this sold in her store as well. So
Okay.
yeah, you can definitely reach out. The email is on the website. If you go on,
Yes. Yep.
then yep, you can definitely reach out to us for that. And for your discovery call or questions about the book, you can DM me at Author by Faith. That's on Instagram. You can reach, or you can just shoot me an email if you'd like. Um, so there's different ways you can reach me. As far, and there's also the contact us on the Author by Faith site as well.
Okay. Okay. Are you on social media? What are your social media handles?
Yes. So the Author by Faith is where you can find me on TikTok and Instagram. And you can find us on Instagram at AQUICKI, the number 4 and the letter U.
I
I
love it.
know.
All right, I'm typing it in this in the computer so everybody can see it when they come back and they look at our live, so they can see where they can find you at on social media. This was
Perfect.
awesome. So when you look at this year, right, we're getting ready to enter into the fourth quarter, but when we look at this year, what word describes you for the year of 2023?
It has been a year of growth from every angle.
Okay.
Prior, I would say in ending part of 2021 or so,
Hmm.
yeah, I would say starting in 2021, I called it my season of being comfortable with being uncomfortable. I've always
Okay.
lived a pretty comfortable life. Things always happened on my own terms, the way I wanted them to.
Hmm.
Haven't had to deal with too many, setbacks in life.
Okay.
But I wouldn't say that it was like a major setback, but it was definitely being pushed outside of my comfort zone of things that I'm used to being just right at my fingertips.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
it was but I think it had to be that way in order for the necessary growth that needed to take place.
Hmm.
All of that had to happen. At first I was like, what in the world is going on? Like,
Right.
am I going backwards? Like, I'm
Hmm.
35. It was not going backwards.
You know what? But that happens. When we start to grow, we feel like we get like stuck and stagnated, and it feel like something is like pulling before we start taking off. And that happens.
Mhm.
But it's just being able to stay the course. Take a deep breath, calm ourselves down from it, and being able to accept what is about to happen. And as long as we accept what's about to happen, then we can embrace it and move forward and do what we need to do. So
Absolutely. And
yeah.
breathing. That was a big part of my journey too. Didn't realize I was shallow breathing.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
it's amazing what a nice, deep, clean breath of
Hmm.
air can do for your clarity and just your
Hmm.
overall demeanor.
Yeah,
So just different things I had to learn.
it makes you feel real good. It makes you feel real
Yes,
good when you can have a clear mind. And I'm gonna say not only clearing your mind, because when you clear your mind, it also allows you to face your realities.
yes,
When everything is open, and it's just like once you become true to yourself and true to your journey and everything you have going on, it allows you to take a you got a sigh of relief with that with
absolutely.
that exhale. But it's like, okay, now I'm coming into my season and I'm doing what I gotta do so that I can make it work for me.
Yes.
Is this
But
is
that's a
my
feared
journey.
place. For
Oh yeah.
many, that's a
Oh
feared
yeah.
place.
Oh yeah. Oh, look, a big fear, but that's why they got people like yourself and
Yes.
me that can help them overcome these fears so that they can do what they need to do to move forward with their lives.
Yes, coaching, therapy, all of it. It works.
Hmm.
It is essential. It is a necessary part of the journey. And I am big
Yes.
on shadow work.
Yes.
Approach, deal with them shadows first.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is, a lot of people are afraid to address those things.
Oh yeah, and I would be. And
Hmm.
you should be. But
Hmm.
once you once you conquer it, you no longer fear it. So that's
Hmm.
the thing. You have to get to a place where you're like, okay, it's do or die. And then
Hmm.
once you're on the other side of it, you're like, dang, that's what I was scared of. Like,
Hmm.
this is what I've been missing out on.
Yep. And then once you realize it's like, okay, now I'm good. Now I'm gonna do what I gotta do. Now I'm committed.
Yes,
And that's all we want is for folks to be committed to whatever dream that they have and whatever mission they're trying to do. Be committed. Do what you gotta do. Do the work so that you can get where you want to be. Just like we did.
exactly. I just want people to be able to live like you are not tied to
Hmm.
anything. You are walking in your purpose. You
Yes.
are living out your full potential and you're living the life you desire. That's why I wear this key right here. Nobody holds the key but me. So I live a life that is unleashed.
I know that's right. I love it. Look, I love it. Look, that is the message. That is the message for this live. You hold the key, and the only person that holds the key is you. And that goes right along with your with your mission. When I looked at the three words that you use to represent you in your business, recite them for us.
You got to unplug,
Mhm.
undergo, and
Mhm.
unleash. You're going to stay stagnant. You're not going to be able to move and grow if you still stay plugged in negativities and things that were bringing you down, things that don't serve your purpose. You have to
Right.
unplug from it all. And I don't mean just
Mhm.
temporarily. You have to be willing to tell it, like, okay, you can go.
Mhm.
And then you have to be willing and open to undergoing the process for true transformation to happen. That means doing the hard work. And
Mhm.
it will be hard, but it will be worth it. And
Yes.
then unleash. That is where we have come to the other side, and you start seeing clarity and potential and
Mhm.
purpose because
Mhm.
you are no longer chained down by the things that tried to bind you or the things that have been binding you all of these years.
Right.
So, one thing that I do is all my clients, you do get a key because I want you to know
Oh.
that you hold the key and nobody else. So every time something's not going the way you want it to go and you look in that
Mhm.
mirror, I want
Mhm.
you to remember, like, wait, but I hold the key. Like,
Mhm.
so why am I stuck in this place? So if you hold the key, that means you're the person that has to get you out of that place as well. Whether you need to praying and get to doing, but
Hmm.
something needs to take place. So that's all I want for everybody I encounter is just to live a life that is unleashed.
But you know what? It holds them accountable.
It does.
It holds
It
them
holds me
accountable.
accountable too every time I see it.
But I love it. I love that. I love that key. The key idea, because the thing is, you hold the key to your destiny.
Absolutely.
So yes, I love this. So every time I end the live, this was an awesome, awesome, awesome interview with you this evening. And so if every time I end that live, I give a affirmation. And so the affirmation I give for this live is: I believe it, I plan it, I do it. And I give that
Yes.
this affirmation because everything that you believe that you wanted to do, you did. You created a plan and you're doing it all now. When I think about, how you were saying how you had, things going on medically with yourself, and how you was like, okay, let me remove myself. Let me do what I need to do to try to fix all of this, right? You took a step back so that you can, work on you. And not only did you do it from the outside, but you also worked on yourself on the inside, and you did everything that you could so that you could help others, while in the process helping yourself. God bless you on this journey and all of the amazing things that you're doing. I wish nothing but success for your business and for your family. I love how y'all are all working together to make this whole business, flourish, and to make it go to so many different levels. God bless y'all for all of your hard work and all of the amazing things
Thank
y'all are
you.
doing. Yes.
Thank you, Tyra. I appreciate it.
Oh, you are so welcome, everybody. Would you like to give one last word before we sign off?
I would just like to say stay committed to the process. Whatever that process looks like,
Mhm.
it's about the journey and the transformation that takes place along the way and not so much the destination. So one of my affirmations that I use is I am, I can, I will.
All right.
Anybody can win, but I want my clients, I want all those attached to me, everybody who's hearing my voice, I want you to dominate at life.
Awesome. Thank you so much for those last words. Everybody, please support Ann's business. I put the websites in the link. Make sure you follow her on Instagram and TikTok at Author by Faith. And you could also find her on Instagram at A Quickie for You on Instagram. Make sure you check out her products and her business. She has some amazing, amazing products. I want to thank you so much for taking time on your Sunday to spend with us this evening. And thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you, Tyra.
Yes, we're going to take you out now. Yes, everybody. So that was AnnLamar Johnson of A Quickie and Author by Faith. I want to thank her so much for coming through. And that concludes our episode of Tyra's Just Saying this evening. We will be back next Sunday. Y'all, let me tell y'all, we back on a roll. We back on. Actually, I won't be on Sunday. I will be on next Sunday, but I'm actually coming back on Tuesday. So I will see all of y'all Tuesday at supposed to be 6, but I gotta make a change, so it's gonna be Tuesday at 7 p.m. I will see all of you. I will be on Instagram doing a live, and so we'll have, yeah, I'll talk about my guests when I get there. Everybody have a good evening, and I will talk to all of you all later. God bless. Have a great week.